All right, so week 7, we are going to be working on a new major project. It is going to require some writing, it's going to require a little creativity. And I launched this project last spring with one of the other schools I teach this course for. And students really enjoyed this one because it allowed them to use their creativity. So, this week we're going to be focusing on newspapers and magazines. We're looking from print to digital brands. I'm going to hop down to the bottom really quick. As usual, your PowerPoint. Reading check 7, open note, open book, 2 attempts. The higher of the two scores is what's going to be recorded. Your discussion board, same as always. Your original post is going to be due on Thursday, and then your response to 2 classmates is going to be due on Sunday. For our major project this week, we are going to be creating the front page of a newspaper. So we're going to be looking at muckraking yellow journalism. That is an era within our multiple eras of journalism, how it's evolved from the very beginning colonial press up until modern journalism today. So you're going to be using Canva for this project. If from reading the chapter, you're not 100% sure about the muckrakers, who they were, what their purpose was, this PDF, not required reading, but it does just give you a little bit more information about the muckrakers, what yellow journalism was, all of that good stuff. So, I do have an example here of what your project is going to look like. There's not actual content, I just used filler, but just so you have an idea of what your project overall will look like. You are creating a newspaper front page. So, you're going to have to create, your own title of your newspaper. You're going to have to create a headline for what your story is. You're going to have to go find a picture, which you are going to need to make sure that you are citing where the picture came from. Simply photo by, and then you could put the website. That will count as citing where you pulled your picture from. And then you're going to have your content, your news story over here to the side. So nothing too crazy. This is all done in Canva. If you go into Canva and when you set up your template, if you just search newspapers, it will bring this up. It will give you lots of options of a newspaper cover and what you want it to look like. So this is what we are making. We're going to hop into the assignment. So you're going to be studying yellow journalism and you're going to become a muckraker yourself as a journalist to expose corruption in business and public life to promote change for the better. So I do have lots of little parts to this assignment here for you. You're going to want to make sure that you're looking over all of the requirements. Your news story should be at least 300 words. It's really not that long. 500 words is about 1 page double spaced. So, really not that long. You want to make sure you have your who, what, when, where, why, which is the basics of any journalism class. Those are the basics of any news story. You want to be concise. So, it shouldn't have tons of fluff in there. Should be straight to the point. That was what yellow journalism was all about. They wanted to make sure that you were very straightforward in everything. You want to incorporate quotes from relevant experts or spokespeople. Once you start doing your research, this is going to be super easy to find. A call to action. What do you want the reader to get out and do? So let's just say you do choose, the suffrage movement and you want people to get out and push for women to be able to vote, things like that. A boilerplate includes a brief company description of your press contact information at the end. So this was pretty common at that time that you wanted to have a way for them to contact you. So it could be something as simple as your name, and you could put like a fake email address or something, although, at the time of yellow journalism, obviously email did not exist. So there's tons of topics you can choose from, and I've kind of broken it down. As you can see, there's plenty of things to choose from. You could cover civil rights, you could cover the antitrust measures, you can cover the Republican Party split and Democrats win in 1912, because that was a big moment in journalism. Teddy Roosevelt's Square Deal, women's suffrage movement, efforts to protect working children and limit working hours. So this is that time period when kids were working, like 8, 9, 10-year-old kids were working in factories. So you could look at things like that. Lots and lots of options here for you to choose from. So you'll write your news story, you'll design your front page news, you'll ensure that you've got that picture in there, and then you will upload your PDF or your link to this discussion board. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I can't wait to see what topics you choose, and I can't wait to see how your newspapers come out. Have a great week, everybody.